This is Tolly Anderson here at the El Segundo Museum of Art, where tonight we're stepping into the magical land of Oz.
Well, Experience 41 Oz is an experience that's all about the story of Oz. 120 years ago, L. Frank Baum wrote The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, and out of that one book came all of these amazing, inspired stories.
The Wizard of Oz is such a huge part of our pop culture, and yet there's a huge part of the story that people don't know, because nowadays most people know, well, Wicked obviously is our new incarnation in the 1939 film, but it was a whole series of books. And it's so wonderful for people to be introduced to those stories, and particularly the artwork that maybe only thought that the story ended when Dorothy went home to Kansas.
There were only 4,000 original artworks, and there are only like about 150 survived, and we have like over 25 original artworks. But together with that, we are celebrating, because this show is a mixture of also having the modern street art of Ace Bourne together with Hoppy-san. They actually made all these 5 beautiful murals, and Jeff Kaysen, who's the curator of this show, he brought these murals to life.
Each of the 5 murals represents 5 iconic places in Oz, from the Poppy Fields, Yellow Brick Road, Emerald City, Munchkin Land, and the Witch's Castle.
I started a project called The Lost Art of Oz, which was really, the focus is to find the artwork. So there were 40 Oz books, and the artwork was mostly done by John Arneal and a few other artists, but it was done for hire, and the publisher retained it all once it was finished. And over the past 100 years, the publisher lost it. And so I've been on this sort of mission to track down as much of the surviving artwork as possible, and to display it in museum exhibits like this so that people have a new appreciation and awareness of it. What this is a watercolor that John Arneal drew in 1910 for a book called The Emerald City of Oz by L. Frank Baum, and it's one of only 4 or 5 color drawings that he did for the Oz book series that are known to survive.
We were trying to give everybody a sense of how inspirational the books are to artists, and so there's a lot of variety to look at here. This is an original drawing for the first edition of The Wizard of Oz, published in 1900. And they really wanted to do something more substantial, so they came up with the idea of doing a color-illustrated juvenile book, and it had 24 color plates inserted by hand throughout, printed in 4 colors, and the text illustrations were printed in 2 colors throughout, with the colors corresponding to the story themes. It was the most lavish children's book published in America up till that time. It changed the way American children's books were produced.
What's great about ESMoA and their team is that they're open to experimenting. They're not rigid in the way they present their experiences, but they always want to find a new way to do it. And so between the murals and the books and the artifacts and even some of these projected elements we have, it's a whole new way to tell the story, and we're really excited about it.
We were super lucky that we connected with Oz Club. Jane Albright is the director of the Oz Club, and my colleague Eugenia and I, we were basically hunting these artworks down, but if the fine people of the Oz Club wouldn't have helped us, none of these artworks would have been here.
This exhibit is all about celebrating all of the stories that have permeated our culture for so long.
Reporting for El Segundo TV, I'm Tolly Anderson.